called on USC to expand the field, ostensibly because they understood what was at stake. That said, it is worth noting that none of the invited candidates had the courage to stand in solidarity with people of color and bow out of participating in the debate. But we'll leave that alone for now. Canceling the debate was not a victory, it was damage control. The real lesson is that diversity cannot be an afterthought in the criteria. It has to be baked into the thinking from the very beginning. Voters of color are not a special interest. We are the electorate. With the KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Dr. Nicordelai Corte. As always, amazing your feedback.
You know that means I'm on the mic. I get to walk on the Prince. What's up, y'all? And happy Black Women Are Divine Month. We hot, right? Happy Black Women Are Divine Month. Happy Black Women Are Divine Month. I know some people call it Women's History Month. In honor of Black Women Are Divine Month, Women's History Month, it is a total takeover of KBLA. Nothing but women's voices all day and all night. And my name is Melina Abdullah. I get to be your last live broadcast of the night until 10 p.m. It's a special rebroadcast of our annual State of Black Women in LA symposium that was moderated by Dominique DePrima this morning. And I got to open with you and close with you. So I was up early with Dominique at 6 a.m. And now I'm closing it out tonight. So late night, we're going to continue to whisper in your ear. Women are going to continue to whisper in your ear in celebration of Women's History Month. Black Women Are Divine Month. It is Black women all day and all night. Again, my name is Melina Abdullah. I'm professor of Pan-African Studies at Cal State LA, where Andy went. And Andy's an alumnus. I'm also co-founder and director of Black Lives Matter Grassroots and Black Lives Matter Los Angeles. And I am Tandiwe Amara and Amen's mama. And I am grateful to be here. During my normal role at KBLA, I host This Is Not a Drill on Saturday morning. So plug in again with me on Saturday morning from 8 to 10 as we talk about No Kings. There's a whole lot on the horizon, and I'm just going to give you a couple of quick headlines before we bring up our guest for the hour, who I've been really, really looking forward to speaking with. Dr. Thema Bryant is our guest for the hour. If there is a Black psychologist to listen to, and y'all know sometimes I need one, it would be Dr. Thema Bryant. And so she's going to be with us for the duration of the hour. But before we get into our conversation with Dr. Thema Bryant, I want to again remind us of what today is. Do you know what today is? Today is the angelversary of Waukesha Wilson, the 10-year angelversary of Waukesha Wilson. Waukesha was killed inside LAPD Metro Detention Center on March 27th of 2016. And today, I was so blessed and honored to be standing with her mama, with her auntie, with her niece, with her family inside LA City Council, a city councilwoman, Isabel Jurado, named that courtyard outside of Metro Detention Center in honor of Waukesha Wilson. It is now Waukesha Wilson Square. And so that signage is going to be put up by the Department of Transportation soon. And so I'm so grateful for everybody who's poured into doing the work, especially Waukesha's family, but also Isabel Jurado, also Assembly Member Isaac Bryant, who passed Waukesha's law in honor of Waukesha Wilson in October of last year, which means that whenever someone is killed or harmed in police custody, their loved one has to be notified within 24 hours. If you remember Waukesha's story, her family was never notified and only found out about her death 4 days after searching for her, frantically trying to figure out where their loved one was. And 4 days later, they were connected with the coroner's office. Waukesha had already been dead for 4 days. So they have turned their pain into power and passed legislation in honor of Waukesha Wilson. We also want to remind you that tomorrow is No King's Day. So we want you to meet us out in Grand Park. Now it's named Gloria Melina Park, right across the street from City Hall, 200 North Main Street. And we're expecting tens of thousands of people to be out in the streets to say no kings. But also, it's more than middle finger to Donald Trump. It's also what kind of world do we want, need, and deserve, and how are we going to build it together? We'll be there. Black Lives Matter Los Angeles will be tabling and encouraging people to complete the People's Budget Survey, which you can find at peoplesbudgetla.com, peoplesbudgetla.com. Do you want your tax dollars to continue to support LAPD? Half of the dollars of this city go directly to LAPD. So you wonder why people are unhoused, living in sewers? It's because, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, look at SRBNB, I think is what it's called. Suburban, SBRB in LA, right? And you'll see that there's a story about how black people are living in sewers because we are not housing our folks. It is disgusting. It's disgusting that a city would allow its people to live like that, right? That the city is pouring resources into police that cover up the murders of Keith Porter, that are responsible for the death of Waukesha Wilson, and not house our people. So if you think those dollars should be going to housing, to mental health resources, to making sure that we have quality after school programs for our children, then fill out the People's Budget Survey at peoplesbudgetla.com. So we are going to talk with one of my favorite people. Dr. Thema Bryant is somebody who I've been blessed to have been introduced to several years ago, but just especially in this time, in these times, in times such as this, in perilous times, right? Dr. Thema Bryant's work is all the more important. Dr. Thema Bryant is professor of psychology at Pepperdine University. But more than that, she's also one of the voices who really talks about psychological tools that can be used to address trauma, to address the things that we have to address if we're to struggle forward. Dr. Thema Bryant was named president of the American Psychological Association. I believe she was the first and only black president of the American Psychological Association in 2023. She's also an ordained elder with the AME Church, and you can see her every Sunday at Fame, right here off of Harvard and Adams in Los Angeles. And she's, and Sister Thema, one of the things I wanted to share with you is it's not your accolades that make me love you. It is, I was thinking about a word for you, and it's authenticity. That you are so beautifully your authentic self. And, you know, you have all of these followers and accolades, and you have your podcast and your books, but when people feel you, and I think the reason that they want to read you and listen to your podcast and follow you is because you are authentically who God intends you to be. And I don't ever feel like you're putting on airs or trying to perform. You're always you. And
Mhm.
it's just a blessing to be in space with you. And I'm so grateful you stayed up late with us tonight to join us. Thank you so much for joining Dr. Thema Bryant.
Thank you so much for having me. And it is definitely a mirror of your own authenticity and realness. And it makes such a difference. I remember during my presidential year, and I will say I was the fourth Black woman to be president
Oh,
of the American Psychological Association. But I remember during that year showing up in that space, which of course is predominantly white, as myself, and my family reminding me it's because they didn't make you, your community made you. And so then I don't feel beholden to have to shapeshift and become something else. I remembered someone asked me during that year what it was like code switching, and I said I haven't been code switching. I gave them a thesaurus, and so talk like myself and they can figure it out. And it's just such a gift whenever we encounter people and spaces that mutually give us the freedom to be ourselves.
that's right. That's right. Ashe. I want to just start, Dr. Thema, by kind of grappling with something that I'm grappling with now, which is the times we're living in.
Yeah.
And I run from, and we'll get into this. I'm grateful we have time, right? We have time tonight. I don't know if we actually have time because every day when I wake up in the morning, I go, "Oh, we still here." I guess I don't know. Tomorrow, the next minute is not promised, let alone tomorrow not promised. Um, but one of the things I grapple with, and Dominique teases me about, lots of folks tease me about, is I don't believe in self care. I believe that self care most often becomes selfish care. I do believe in community care, and I do believe in doing things that feed my soul, but I'm not going to neglect my role. And I think that in times such as this, when we're talking about absolute fascism, so by training, I'm a political scientist, this is a textbook definition of fascism. We are in fascism, it's indisputable, right? That we're not going to succumb to it, at least I'm not. We can't hide from it because they will find you. So we have to fight. It does seem like that if ever we needed psychological tools, the time is now. How do you kind of frame what's necessary to make sure that we're okay in
Mhm.
times when everything has descended upon us?
Yes. Thank you for the question. And I think it's important, the self and the community care, because as you have named, what we are facing is the marathon. And so we want to be sustainable. I always say to people, like, if we could knock this out by August, then I would say, okay, no rest, like no ease, no days off. We're just going to knock it out.
Mm.
But the work of disrupting and dismantling oppression is a lifetime commitment. And so then we have to figure out how and what are the ways that we can sustain ourselves. And a part of that will be in community with other people, but also sometimes to be able to step away for ourselves. Or to spend time with your family, or to spend time remembering our joy, which is why I love the Black Women Are Divine Day that you all do, because it's not a day where we're marching. It's a day where we're dancing and getting massages and eating some good food and spending time with each other because it honors our humanity. The point of fascism, oppression, racism, sexism is to disconnect us from ourselves, from our own humanity, and from our souls. And so I refuse to cooperate with that. So then my refusal means I also leave space for my breath, for my
Mm.
soft, for me to just be able to sit with some sister girls and talk, and not center the fight. Like if every conversation is about the White House, then they have taken over my life. And I
Mm.
have space for us to talk about our poetry and our music and our children and our sacred practices. Uh, that's a part of the honoring. And I love that you asked the question about how I frame it, because I actually have a framework that has an acronym, so it makes it easier to remember. And it's, how do we cultivate joy as people who experience marginalization, people experience oppression? And so the word is justice. And not surprisingly, the J is for justice, and that is advocating for ourselves, that there is joy found in that. Like when we gather and march together and sing together, there's joy in that, of
Mm.
knowing I'm not powerless, I'm not hopeless, and I'm not the only one that is saying no kings. That I show up, as you named, in community, and it can be a joyful thing. I mean, some of the times we're marching and what we're chanting might be in this place of outrage, but then we could just as easily like break out in the electric slide, and we're still protesting and honoring that joy. The U is for unearth the truth, and that is reminding myself who I am. A beautiful poet, Asia Adebo, has a poem that says, "Who lied to you?" And racism lies to us every day. Sexism lies to us every day. Capitalism lies to us every day. So I unearth the truth by remembering who I actually am, that I'm sacred and that I see you and that you're sacred. And so speaking and knowing and remembering truth is the you. Our S is our spiritual practice. And so, whatever that looks like for us, of prayer, of meditation, of chanting, of reading sacred texts, of going out in nature to feed our spirits. And then the T is for time off and time on, and learning to set boundaries, because, especially as Black women, we have often been raised that we have to say yes to everybody all the time. And if I say yes to everything that is asked of me, I am saying no to my mental health. I'm saying no to my peace. I'm saying no to my rest. And so we give ourselves permission to not have that Messiah complex of trying to carry the world on my shoulders. So I could say no to some things. One of the things I discovered was the gift of referring people to other people. As I know, there are so many gifted people in our community, and people just might not know their names. So even if I say, like, I can't do something, I could tell you three more fabulous sisters who would be amazing.
Right.
And then it's a win-win, right?
Right.
So time off for me, I can shine that light on somebody else. The I is for intimacy, and that's that connection you're talking about, of us being able to unfold with each other, to be real with each other. The C is creativity. So in our arts, that reminds us of our joy. And then the E, the last letter, is embodiment, because these bodies, oh my gosh, we carry our stress in our bodies, in our backs, in our necks, in our forehead, in our jaw,
Mm.
skin, in our hair. The body is carrying the weight. And so a part of me reclaiming myself is taking care of my body.
I love that. When we come forward, we already have some callers for you.
Oh, good.
And we want to invite people to call in. You're welcome to call in at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. More with Dr. Thema Bryant when we come forward.
I've got the power! This is what power sounds like. It's a total takeover. Women all day, all night on KBLA Talk 1580.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya, guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is connecting you with services and solutions. Domestic violence and family violence is when someone in an intimate or family relationship tries to gain or maintain power and control over another through a wide range of abusive behaviors. Every single act may amount to abuse. Abuse can take on various forms: psychological and emotional, physical and economic, and sexual abuse. The Genesee Center Incorporated is a nationally recognized nonprofit domestic violence prevention and intervention organization, housing women and children from 30 days up to 2 years through emergency and transitional shelters. The Genesee Center also provides support services like mental health counseling, life skills classes, computer training, job referrals, after-school programs for children, field trips, tutoring, and comprehensive direct legal services. If you need help or you'd like to donate or volunteer, call the Genesee Hotline, 1-800-479-7328. That's 1-800-479-7328, or visit genesee.org. Everyone has the right to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This March, we're turning up the volume on the women who changed everything. KBLA Talk 1580 is proud to celebrate Women's History Month, honoring the trailblazers, truth tellers, and game changers who shaped our world, our culture, and our community. From the freedom fighters to the firsts, from the boardroom to the front lines, from the unsung to the unforgettable. All month long, we're celebrating the stories, the voices, and the conversations that remind us that women, Black women, have always led the way. Don't miss a moment. This is our moment. This is our story. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580, Los Angeles' home for the conversations that matter.
I'm your girl, you're my girl, we your girls. Won't you know that we love you?
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth.
Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome.
We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
My name is Melina Abdullah, and you are listening to the Women's Takeover right here on KBLA. I'm in conversation with the one and only Dr. Thema Bryant, and we're talking about how we get through these times. What psychological tools are there to help us get through these times? And I think we're having a little bit of a login issue, so we're going to talk a little bit about just what's coming up, that we are in the midst of unfettered fascism. And so the question that was posed to Dr. Bryant is, what do we do in the midst of unfettered fascism? How do we use psychological tools to get through? And she gave us some really important thoughts. I thought the piece about embodiment was really, really important. And there she is, and I think she was able to get in on her computer now. So I'm really glad about that you didn't have to keep holding your phone. I hate when I have to do that.
Yes.
Dr. Bryant, I mentioned we already have some callers calling in, and I think it's important. I believe that this is my child calling for you, who's studying psychology at Clark Atlanta University. And some of what you were talking about, Amara just did a term paper on. Is that you, Amara Keone Abdullah?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Amara Keone Abdullah.
Hi, everyone.
Amar,
But yes,
go ahead.
yeah, actually, it's crazy that my mom has you on the show today because I was just talking to her about this paper that I had to write for my psychology class, and we were discussing activism as a coping mechanism for trauma, for generational trauma. And actually, there was I'm sure you've heard of it. There was an article in the Journal of Black Psychology that we had to base our essay off of, where they basically talked about how activism can be a very strong coping mechanism for, unpacking racial trauma and social injustice. So I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
Yes, absolutely. So important. So there is a framework called liberation psychology. And one of the differences is in Western or mainstream psychology, they often end the model with coping. So teaching people how to cope, which is important, coping strategies, but liberation psychology adds the step of resistance. How do we resist? How do we push back so that it's not, so with coping, there's emotion focused coping, which is good. So you might like take a bubble bath, or you might journal, or you might talk to a family member or to a therapist. But the other side of coping is problem solving coping, which is what am I going to do about the problem? And that's where the resistance comes in. And it gives us a sense of empowerment. It gives us a sense of connection. And it also helps to interrupt the cycle. So I don't just have to keep coping with it, to just continue to adjust to it. In the 60s, Dr. King came and spoke to the American Psychological Association, and he talked about the importance of remaining maladjusted to injustice, right? That we are never going to right? Let me stay maladjusted.
Stay maladjusted to injustice. I want to pick up on that on the other side because I think we need to think about how people said, sit this one out. What I'm hearing is it's healthy to not sit it out. It's healthy to fight. More with Dr. Thema Bryant when we come forward.
Turn it up. The women are running things. It's a total takeover. All day, all night. Right here on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. The Senate spending bill to fund Homeland Security is dead in the House. Speaker Mike Johnson blasted the plan, saying it leaves out ICE and Customs and Border Protection and would weaken border security.
This gambit that was done last night is a joke.
He says Republicans will push a full funding bill instead, backed by President Trump. Seattle is seeking a new trial after a jury awarded more than $30 million to the father of Antonio Mays Jr., a teen killed in the chop zone. The city calls the verdict excessive, while the lawsuit claims officials were negligent. His father remembered him as kind-hearted and proud to be black. And Black Detroit Mayor Mary Sheffield has ordered that all proceeds from city-owned commercial property sales go to Detroit's Affordable Housing Trust Fund, up from 40%. The move is expected to generate about $4 million a year to support affordable housing and prevent displacement. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Visit the new Hard Rock Casino Tejon for the Kilo of Gold giveaway. Drawings every Thursday in February. Visit Hard Rock Casino Tejon, the easiest drive from downtown LA. The excitement starts here at the new Hard Rock Casino Tejon.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready?
Drop it!
Mr. Tavis Smiley, preach it. Thank you, man. Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. 10 Toes In serves as a mentorship and domestic violence prevention program. They support, educate, and empower couples during and after incarceration. They assist male returning citizens to re-enter society successfully and to help them maintain a healthy relationship with their romantic partner. They offer a mentorship support group for formerly incarcerated men. 10 Toes In teaches its Intimate Relationships 101 curriculum at male prisons throughout the state of California. They host sister support group meetings for women who are intimately involved with incarcerated and formerly incarcerated men. 10 Toes In is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. To access their services or make a donation, please visit them online at 10toesin.org or find them on Facebook or Instagram. They are healing lives through relationships. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Not everything announces itself. Some things simply arrive, and the room is compelled to adjust. This is grooming without apology, without noise, without compromise. Gods and money, organic formulations, clean precision, crafted for skin that does not ask for permission to be felt. Element Cream, a rare hydration layered like an oud at dusk, measured, enduring, unmistakably masculine, moisturizing oil, a quiet revolution, restoring what stress, climate, and time attempts to claim. This is not skincare. It is composure made visible. It is inevitability. Gods and money exist impeccably. Discover the ritual at godsandmoney.com. That's Gods and Money, MONY.com.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this? We didn't think so. You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA Talk 1580.
My name is Melina Abdullah, and it is Women's Takeover on KBLA Talk 1580. We've been on all day and all night. Nothing but powerful Black women's voices, and we are talking with someone who is meant to remind us of who we are as we close out the night, Dr. Thema Bryant. We've been talking about times such as this and the need for psychological tools, even as we struggle forward. Amara Keone just called in and talked about how protest is actually healthy. And you started to weigh in on that, Dr. Thema Bryant, affirming what she wrote. She should get an A on that psychology paper, right?
Absolutely. It's so, it makes such a difference for us to know that we can push back that we can speak up for ourselves, that we can speak up for our community, and that reminder of the communal effort that it's not me against the world. I'm not by myself, but that there are many like-minded people and that we can shift the tide.
That's right. I know for me, and tell me if this is validated by psychology at all. For me, I've been doing a really great job of not cussing. I shouldn't admit it to you because I know you be in the church. But
You're fine. Look, I'm a therapist. Talk freely.
but I cuss a whole lot, right? And I haven't been actually lately. My mother would be very proud because it was Ramadan. So during Ramadan, I don't cuss. And, we're just coming out of that. So I haven't gotten my cussing muscles strengthened yet, right? But I get some sense of sanity by going to police commission meetings on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday morning, I show up or try to show up at police commission meeting, and I cuss out the police chief. I cuss out the police chief because there's a 70% increase in police shootings year after year by LAPD. I cuss out the police chief because even though community brought him Brian Palacios' name and photo and background on a silver platter after he murdered a black man named Keith Porter on New Year's Eve, he refuses to make an arrest. I cuss out the police chief because the mayor made him have somebody meet with the family of Keith Porter, and they treated the family like they were the suspects instead of the victims. And so I feel good when I get to cuss out the police chief. I feel good when I get to, roll up at somebody's house. I know people don't always like it, but sometimes you got to roll on them. They should not be able to sit comfortably and eat a meal in a restaurant when they're responsible for bombing hundreds of thousands of children. And so I feel better. Is there some psychological validation for that?
Yes, two things come to mind. One is it's healthy to be outraged about outrageous things, and outrageous things are happening. So we don't have to feel neutral or disinterested in the outrageous things. The outrage is our reminder to not turn it in on ourselves and also to not adjust to the injustice. But I want to also name you doing it every week also gives you this sense of something you can control, something you can predict. So what they're doing, you can't always predict, but you're like, I know where I'm going to be. I'm going to be here every week and I get to predict it. I can dictate it. And it gives that sense of agency of like that you all cannot take from me. That's what I choose.
Oh, now I'm feeling like maybe I do need a therapist because I didn't think about the regularity of it. So every Tuesday we're there, every Wednesday we're in front of the DA's office, and it is the regularity of it, right?
Yes.
Maybe that's why Baba Keely always says every Wednesday, right? Maybe that's how he feels it every Wednesday, and we've been there for 9 years, every Wednesday protesting the DA, right?
Powerful, because, especially in times like this and when we were getting all those executive orders, it was just mass chaos of like, what's going to happen next? And so there's a lot that is out of our control, but there are some things that are in our control.
I love that. I love that. You're telling me something about myself that I did not pick up on. But what I am picking up on is this telephone. Because your friend, one of our shared best friends, is Dr. Tabitha Jones Jolivet.
Yeah.
And Dr. Tabitha is calling in. Hey, Tab.
Hey, Dr. Abdullah. Hey, Dr. Thema. I'm getting to talk to my doctor sisters today.
Yeah.
It's so good to listen. It's wonderful to listen to this conversation. And I want to just jump in with a question because I really just appreciate the nuance in this conversation. I think what's coming up for me is, as a Black woman, what are the ways that we can learn to even notice when we're disconnected, which, Thema, you mentioned was at the center of these structures of white supremacist violence, right, that both of you have been talking about, disconnecting us from our humanity. And then on the flip side, or relatedly, what is community and self-connection look like in the face of that disconnection? So I guess you talked about the model, which was so helpful. I think I'm really just wanting to unpack a little bit. How do we begin to recognize when we're disconnected and do the kinds of things that Melina just described? This is what helps me to feel like I have agency, while also recognizing that some of us don't always know when we're disconnected.
Right.
And what are some things we can be looking for? So that's my first question. And I know there are others who want to talk to you, so I'll just leave it there.
That is excellent question. So I'll say first about being disconnected from ourselves, and then the second one about disconnection from community. So I'm disconnected from myself when I don't know how I feel. So sometimes people are talking and I'll say like, oh, it sounds like you were really angry about that. And they're like, no, I don't care. But like everything in them is caring, right? And so if I am not in touch with my grief, with my disappointment, with my frustration, with my anger, like that's a sign when I have gone numb or I cannot tap into what I feel, that's a sign. When I am neglecting myself, I'll often, sometimes our depression shows up as irritability. So some of us never look depressed, but we have a bad attitude. So then they have that stereotype of us having a bad attitude, when really we're trying to like get through life and haven't been given a lot of soft spaces to unfold. So it's like if I'm always on my last nerve, then I'm in that place of disconnection. When I'm in unhealthy relationships, that also disconnects me from myself, because for me to stay connected to people who dishonor me, the only way I can do that is to be checked out in some ways. So I'm going through the motions. I can look at my relationships. I can look at my inability to sleep. I can look at my health, because sometimes our bodies will tell on us and make us stop because we didn't know how to pause. So those are some ways when I'm in a place of feeling powerless or hopeless, then I'm also disconnected. What does it sound like when we're disconnected for the isolation? Like nobody is trustworthy. Like that when people say like, I don't need any friends but God, then like that we've been hurt. That's what that sounds like, is when I've been so hurt, I've cut everybody off. And so that happens in movement spaces. It happens in religious spaces, because the truth is wherever people gather, you're going to meet each other's wounds. And some of us don't know how to navigate that truth of we can all be committed to a just cause and be in different places in terms of our own healing. And so if you're in a place of either isolating yourself or clinging to people who are polluting your own spirit, then that's a good sign that you're disconnected.
Thank you for that. When we come forward, we have more with Dr. Thema Bryant. If you'd like to call in, our phone number is 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. Much more to come.
One station, one day, all women. It's a total takeover on KBLA Talk 1580. All day, all night.
Let's get it on. What if your rooftop could earn you money every year? With LADWP's Solar Rooftops program, you can get solar panels installed and maintained on your home at no cost and earn up to $900 a year. That's up to $18,000 over 20 years. There are no upfront costs, no credit checks, and no annual fees. Plus, you'll help power Los Angeles with clean local solar energy and reduce reliance on fossil fuels. Make your rooftop work for you. Apply today at ladwp.com/solar rooftops. Heading out of town this spring? Metro makes getting to LAX easier than ever. Just take the C or K train lines to the new LAX Metro Transit Center. Then catch a free shuttle straight to your terminal. Easy, affordable, stress-free. Travel smart. Go Metro.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The BLM Center for Black Power is a hub for Black activism in the city of Los Angeles, a standalone nonprofit affiliated with Black Lives Matter LA. The venue is home to live events, meetings, and organizing drives for Black-led community-based organizations. It is also the base of operations for Black Lives Matter LA. Built on what used to be a nuisance property owned by an arms dealer, the BLM Center for Black Power is in the heart of Leimert Park and has opened its doors to everything from youth organizers to toy drives to film screenings and community town hall meetings. To make a donation or make a request, please visit blmla.org. That's blmla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Small businesses are the heart of America. But you don't have to go it alone. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Get the connections, education, and guidance you need with SCORE. We're ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
My name is Melina Abdullah, and we are closing out the live portion of the Women's Takeover of KBLA. I'm in conversation with Dr. Thema Bryant, and we have just about 10 minutes to go as we talk about how we kind of shore ourselves up mentally as we prepare for and engage in the struggle for justice. And the acronym for how to do that, Dr. Thema gave us, is justice itself, right? We can use that acronym to move us forward.
Yes.
Dr. Thema, one of the things that I've been thinking, and I said I'm going to get this in when she comes on, you know, Mama Sada Shakur just became an ancestor. And one of her teachings, there's a famous chant that we always use at the close of our actions and meetings. But one of the lesser known teachings of Mama Sada Shakur is only the strong go crazy. The rest just go along. Only the strong go crazy. The rest just go along. And I feel like these are absolutely crazy making times, but I would rather be crazy than just go along. I'd like to get your thoughts on that.
Yes, I love that it is the strength to see things clearly, the strength to not accept the unacceptable, the strength to dare to believe in our sacredness and our power when in every direction the efforts are to convince the world that we are not sacred and that we are powerless. And so to resist, to push back from the outside, it would look crazy. It would, and it's a beautiful thing that we baffle those who want us to give up. They don't understand it. They cannot understand why we keep showing up. And even when we don't show up in the ways they expect, when we show up in covert ways, when they look up and we're at the head of the table, that also baffles them. When they see us laughing and dancing, that it baffles them. So it looks insane to hold on to the truth of who you are when everybody is trying to convince you of a lie.
Mm, that's right. That's right. Who are you to fight the system? Who are you to think you can topple?
And it's a beautiful,
Right. Right.
yes,
Right. Right.
right, yeah.
But
It
I'm a
is,
mama. I'm not gonna let this world go
yeah,
that
that
way.
the
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it is that audacity, it's the bodaciousness, it
Hmm.
is our humor and wit. It is all of the things that get imitated by those but continue to imitate us. And so then we have to say, like, so who's really acting crazy when
Mm.
you're imitating the people you claim to hate? So
Mm.
yeah, it is a real grounding and rooting in the truth of us. And so how do we hold on to that? Spending time nourishing ourselves with each other. So yes, part of our time together will be activism, but part of our time together is like watching the film or sitting outside together, watering our plants. So that kind of collective healing is also very liberating.
That's right. That's right. So, Dr. Thema Bryant, I'm going to ask you one last thing, and then I'd love for us to get to, because people are going to want to know how to follow your work. If you were to give us just one piece of advice for one thing we should be doing to holding on to, I was going to say sanity, but I say that I'm delightfully insane. I'll just say I'm delightfully insane. I don't mind being insane because I don't want to be like them. If that makes me insane that I talk to birds, I like talking to birds because I think it's crazy. I live in a neighborhood that has parrots. Like, we live in LA. I live off Crenshaw Boulevard. And there's these hundreds and hundreds of parrots that fly over my house. And I think that's crazy to let them fly over my house and not recognize them as a miracle, right? And so I talk to them every time they fly
Yes,
over. I
yes.
say, hey, parrots, and
Love it.
I have a whole conversation. And maybe that makes me insane. It's fun, right? So I'll say I'm delightfully insane. What do we do if there's one thing you can tell us to do for ourselves? And I heard a bunch of options, but one thing, what would it be?
Mhm. I would say start your day with a practice or an activity that nourishes your soul so that you don't go out into this world on empty and you don't go out into this world hungry for other people to validate you or approve of you. So decide on what is your daily devotion or what is your
Mm.
daily practice before you look at the news, before you look at social media, to fill up your own well. So then I operate from my overflow. I don't show up empty.
Hmm. Start your day with a practice that fills you. Start your day with a practice that fills
Yes.
you. I love that. And then, Dr. Bryant, how do we plug in with you? I want more of this.
Yes.
I'm sure everyone wants more of this. How do we follow you and plug
Please.
in with you?
Yes, thank you. So I host the Homecoming podcast, which is on YouTube and iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud. I'm on Instagram as Dr. Period Tama. My website is drtama.com, and that will give upcoming events where people can connect in person or virtually. And then, as you mentioned, I'm at First AME Church. I do the mental health ministry there. And if anybody just really wants to be up early on Easter morning, I'm giving the message at the sunrise service. So if you're just up on Easter, come in and be
What
with
time
me
is
at 6
sunrise
a.m.
service?
It's 6,
Oh, that
6
is early.
a.m.
That's okay. Maybe
It is.
I'll come. Look, I'm
If not, let
Muslim.
me also say they
Mm,
stream live. So
Okay.
if you can't get there, it'll be online.
Okay. I'm Muslim,
Yeah.
but I really enjoyed visiting Fame. I love your new pastor. And my brother and friend, Dr. Starsky Wilson, was given the message when I came last. But I think I'm gonna cycle in and out. I'm gonna cycle in and out.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a beautiful community, definitely.
That's right. That's right. So I see Corey calling in. Consuelo, you got something real quick for us because we got to get out of here. I got to make some announcements. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I just really wanted to say thank you, just a deep guttural appreciation for this show, and I hope that you guys put it on the media. It's like the whole hour. This was perfect, and it was such a beautiful day, beginning with First Things First, and way to close it out, Doc.
Thank you so much. And Andy just said it's on YouTube, KBLA's YouTube. It's on our Facebook, on BLMLA. And I've really enjoyed this. This is also a good way to go to bed, right, is to have this, to be able to carry this with me. I want to remind folks that Dr. Thema said it is good to fight. It is good to fight. So meet us in these streets tomorrow at 2 p.m. We'll be at the No Kings rally and march. The BLMLA crew will get on stage a little after 2. So please join us there. We'll also be in the resource area doing the People's Budget Survey. You can complete that survey at peoplesbudgetla.com. Dr. Tabitha Jones-Jolivet is one of our lead researchers on that. So again, that's tomorrow, 2 p.m., Grand Park or Gloria Melina Park. Also, if you want to hear more about No Kings, wake up in the morning with me at 8 a.m. right here on KBLA. This is not a drill. We'll have Brother Eric, Sister Alexandria, all talking about No Kings March. UTLA's Georgia will be on, and we'll be talking about No Kings. And then every Tuesday, 9:30 a.m., we're at LAPD, LA Police Commission meeting to say they should be doing stuff to hold the police accountable, not being in cahoots with them. Sunday, Brian Bostick's family is organizing on Nutwood. You can see BLM Los Angeles to find out the exact location of that. And every Wednesday, we're in front of the Hall of Injustice, 4 p.m. to 11 West Temple. You can find all of this, again, on our Instagram at BLM Los Angeles. For stuff that's happening nationwide, you can go to BLM Grassroots. I am Doc Melly Mel on all social media. Thank you so much to Tavis Smiley for letting this be a women's takeover. Stay tuned because you can plug in with the State of Black Women in LA at 10 p.m. Right after this, you'll hear Dominique DePrima talking with some of the most powerful and beautiful and prolific Black women from all over the world. That's still coming up right here on KBLA. Until next time, peace out, y'all.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. The NBA is officially exploring expansion to Las Vegas and Seattle. Commissioner Adam Silver says the league has hired an investment firm to evaluate ownership groups and arena plans.
I think they're Seattle and Las Vegas, in terms of their history and support of NBA basketball, are unique in terms of available markets in the U.S. right now.
Both cities have strong basketball histories, including Seattle's former Supersonics. Millions are expected at this weekend's nationwide No Kings protests against the Trump administration, with rallies in over 3,000 cities. It's the first major demonstration since federal agents fatally shot 2 Americans in Minneapolis. And Tina Turner's legacy is entering a new chapter. Swedish company Pop House has acquired her name, image, likeness, and most of her music